What we're going to do here is we're going to reload the 4570 with a 535 grain Postel bullet. This is going to be a smokeless load, and of course I anneal it. I deprime it. So here is how I deprime all of my brass. There's many different methods. We're going to size them, pre-lube them. I just use lanolin and rubbing alcohol, and then I just get them a nice little coating on them, and we let them flash off. And my sizing die. So I also get asked this. So my sizing die, I have one sizing die set up for smokeless loads, and I don't use a sizing die for black powder, and we'll go over that in another video. So in this process, you don't have the powder column like you do in black powder, so you can't actually set the bullet down on the black powder and your wad stack. Here, your bullet's going to just float out there based on your powder charge, which is of course way less than black powder. And with that, I don't size the whole case. I only size just the top portion that the bullet's going to set in. Okay, so I'll resize the case down probably a ½ inch. Okay, and what that does is it allows me to give a little bit of neck tension for the projectile to stay floating just off my lands with the smaller powder charge. And it's just as simple as put it in there. Boom. Just that little bit. That's all we do. Just that little bit. Boom. Next step is we put them all through the vibratory deburr or cleaner to remove a little bit of that oil that was left on there from the lanolin. And after that, we'll move on to the next step. To prime our cartridges, and I use Federal Premium Gold Medal Large Magnum Rifle Primer. So what we're going to do now is set up our expanding die. Since we've resized this up here, we need to expand it so that our projectile can actually start in the case. And right now it won't even engage. So what we do, we just continue to adjust this so we barely engage it. So get our primer on there. We fully go up into the sizing die, down, set our primer, just clear this. Then we make sure that it's just barely engaging. And there it is. And that's all we want to do. That's it. We're using 5744. And now you'll just type in your what you want for your powder. We're going to go with 26 grains of 5744. So then the next thing I do is I always verify the powder height in every cartridge. Setting bullets. Start off with the cartridge. And we've got powder in. And grab our weight sorted projectiles. Set it in the end. Now you kind of want to get a feel for this. It shouldn't take really any pressure to seat it. And if you feel one that you're having to push really hard, note it. And what I usually do on those is I'll put like a red dot. I'll make the tip of the bullet red so that I know that that one's seated relatively tight. And that the note on that would be, if it seats tight, it's going to build up a little bit more pressure and the velocity will be a little bit higher. And you just concentrate on how you're seating them and what you're feeling. So next, after I'm all done seating the bullets, remember, I have the seating die set up super short, because I don't want it to crimp. I don't want it to crimp it at all. So the next thing I do is I put the sizing die back in, okay? Now this is important. Now, when I put the sizing die in, what I do is I adjust the sizing die up. And the goal with this process is I just want to take that little flare that's on the tip out, okay? Just a little bit down to the exact dimension I want from my set. So this never has to move. I just unscrew and screw that set on there. And that set right there is how we get my depth set to be repetitive for future loads. So just want to take that flare out of there. So don't take any pressure at all, and then that flare is completely gone. And it's a very little flare. Let's go ahead and measure it real quick so you guys can see that. So up near the top, the flare is right at 480/81. Just the weight of the bar goes down. And now we measure it, and we are at 476. Just that little bit. We just want using the same brass for, oh man, almost 10 years, and I haven't had one split. And I usually shoot a match every month. One more thing I get asked a lot is, do I put any filler in there? I don't use fillers. Thanks for watching.